Welcome back. In this video, we're going to learn HTML. So the first thing I want you to do is on the desktop, right-click, click on New, click on Folder. We're going to type in HTML and hit Enter. All right, and then we're going to click Start, and we're going to click Sublime Text 3. I want you to right-click on the icon and pin it to the taskbar. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go up to Project, Add Folder to Project, click Desktop, and click HTML. Select the folder, and there you go. Now we have HTML, our project, in here. Now the next thing I want you to do is click File, New File. We're going to hit Control S. And if we go to the desktop and select HTML, it should already be in there. And we're going to type in test.html. Okay? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to type out the following. Okay? And now it will autofill. And if you were to hit enter, it will create a boilerplate for you. What is a boilerplate? Basically, that's the basic tags you need for an HTML page. So what I'm going to do is I'll go through each tag real quickly and just explain what it is. So this top part, doc type, this has to be in every single HTML page that you build, because this is calling for the doc type. So what kind of doc is it? It's HTML. Then the next tag is an HTML tag. You need that in the page because it's HTML. The head tag is what loads first. So when you go on Google and you look up at the top of the tab, you'll see a title in there. And that's where the title tag is put, is inside the head tag. Also inside of here, they will put the link tag for CSS. Sometimes they'll put script tags in there, but it's highly recommended to put JavaScript or script tags in the body at the bottom. Okay? Speaking of body, the body is where we put all the content. Okay, the main content goes in the body. And you'll notice here that you always close a tag with a slash. So, body's there, and then we close HTML here. So that's the very basics. Now, what I want to do, just real quickly, is we're going to go over some basic tags, and then we're going to continue on in the next video. So in this instance, what I want to do first is we're going to return 2 times, and I want you to go to line 8. Okay, hit tab, and we're going to type in the following, H1. Now you'll see here that it's going to autofill that for you. It should. If it doesn't, that's okay, because we're going to type it out. Okay, and we're going to close our bracket there with a slash. So we're going to do left bracket slash H1. Okay, so we're going to type, this is my first HTML tag. Okay, very good. Now, if you hit Control, hold Control, and use the right arrow, it will go to the end of the tag. The other trick that you can use is if you're like if you're here and you want to get to the end of the tag, on your keyboard there's an end button. If you hit end, it will go to the end of the tag. And if you wanted to go to the beginning of the tag, you would hit home. Why am I showing you that? It's just, it makes it easier for you when you're going through, if you know a couple shortcuts. You know, it'll pick up your speed basically when you're learning. So it's just a good tool to know. The other thing I recommend is whenever you are coding anything to get started with, like I'm going to hit up and I'm going to hit tab, right? And return. I'm going to show you another, not a tag, but how to comment out code. Okay, so this is my first commented out code. And then we're going to close that with 2 dashes and a right bracket. That is how you would comment out your code. And basically what that means is it's instructions for what this is. So we're going to type this is my H1 tag. Okay? Now, let's go down and hit end, and we're going to return twice. And then we're going to do this again. So we're going to do the same thing, left bracket, exclamation point, dash dash. This is my H2 tag, okay? And then we're going to type in H2. So we're going to type left bracket, H2, close the bracket, left bracket, slash. And when you type in the slash, it's going to autofill for you. And then we'll hit control, we'll hold control and hit the left arrow, hit it again, and then we'll go to the center of the tag. So this is the H2 tag, okay? Now we're going to do that with the H3 as well. So this is the H3 tag, okay? We'll close that, we'll end that comment, and then we're going to type it out. H3. This is the H3 tag. Okay. And do it again. This is the H4 tag. Okay. And we're going to type in H4. I'm going to hit enter because it's asking me to autofill. This is the H4 tag, okay? And then let's do H5. So we're going to do this is the H5 tag. Close that, and we're going to do H5, hit enter. This is the H5 tag, okay? And then we're going to do it again. This is the H6 tag. Okay, H6. Not H7, there's no H7. All right, let's close that. This is the H6 tag. All right, that looks good. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to render this. So let's right click here. And we're going to click Open in Browser. Now, you can see right here, this is the H1, this is the H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. Perfect. Okay, so let's close the browser, and I'm going to do one more thing. We're going to type in the title tag, this is my first web page. We're going to hit Control S to save. Because whenever you make a change, so if I were to hit a space bar, okay, you see this up here, the little dot to my right? When you see that dot, you need to save. So either do File, Save, or do Control S. That way you don't lose your work, because that's the worst feeling in the world is you build out this beautiful website and then you don't save your code. Always, always, always save after you do about, I would do maybe 3 lines of code and then save. And a good rule of thumb is to even do it sooner than that. Do it after 1 line of code and save. It takes 1/10 of a second to hit Control S. You know what I mean? Like you can keep going from there. All right. Welcome back. In this video, we're going to continue learning more HTML tags. So, on the previous video, we learned the H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6 tags, okay, which is a great start. We also learned about the basic structure of an HTML page with the doc type, the HTML tag, the head tag, the title tag, and the body tag. So we're going to work in the head tag for a minute. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to return. I'm going to go right above the title tag here and hit return, and then we're going to hit the down arrow, and I'm going to hit end and hit return again. So what I like to do is when I'm coding, I like to leave a lot of space so it's easy to read and I know exactly where my code is. Okay, because the neater your code is, the easier it's going to be, because when you have 1,000 lines of code, it's going to be a nightmare if everything is mushed together. Trust me, I've been there. All right, so let's comment out the title tag, because we're going to keep practicing this technique of commenting out our code. This is the title tag. How about this is the title of the page? Something like that. So that way you know what it is. Obviously we know what a title is, but if you have somebody that doesn't understand that and they see this, they'll be able to edit it for you. Okay? So let's hit enter twice. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a new tag. So first we're going to comment it out. So we're going to do, this is the link tag used for CSS and other tasks. Okay? Close that. And then what we're going to do is left bracket, link. And we're going to close it like so. Now, if we were to add CSS, which we're going to do, and we're just going to link a blank file, so nothing's going to work at this point. But let me delete this for 1 second, just so I can show you. Okay, so let's do left bracket, link. Now, if you autofill this, so if you hit enter, it's going to show you a whole bunch of stuff. And I don't want you to get confused. So here's the thing. It's basically, the link tag is for, the REL is style sheet, so that's for CSS. The type is text/CSS. So these are two parameters that are calling for CSS. Now, if we were to link to CSS, we would do something like this. We would do CSS/main.css, for example. And basically what that's saying is CSS is a folder or a directory that we're calling, and it has main.css inside of that folder. So it would be calling that, and that's how you link CSS to your HTML page. Okay? So for this example, we'll leave it there. And let's do one more. Okay? So let's comment this out. This is a link to my CSS. Okay? Something like that. And then we'll do the same thing. So we'll do link, and like I say, let Sublime autofill it for you, because by allowing them to type out the syntax for you, it'll make it easier for you to remember the syntax. And remember, we're going to Control S to save. Okay? So I'm going to do CSS test.css. Okay? And then we're going to save. So nothing on here is going to work, but I'm going to show you something. If you right click and you open in the browser and you go to, we were in Google Chrome here, and we right click and we hit click inspect. They have an elements area where you can go through and you can grab elements and style it over here on the right. Here's the other thing. If you go to console, you're going to see that we failed to load the resources. So it did not find main.css. It did not find test.css. And the reason why it didn't is because we don't have those files. They don't exist. So this is a good thing to show you, because when you run into problems like this, you'll be able to debug quickly and say, well, I don't have that folder, so it's not going to work. Okay? So I just wanted to show you that quick. So let me close that. We're going to close the browser down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to another tag. So below the H6, we're going to create another tag, and we're going to comment it out first. So this is the nav tag. Okay, so let's close that, and we're going to type in left bracket nav and let, again, Sublime autofill it. Okay, we're going to return one more time and go to line 38. Now, inside the nav tag, what's the purpose of the nav tag? Well, the nav is normally at the top of the page or on the left side of the page or on the right side in some instances. It's very important. The navigation is a very important part of the web page, because it's basically directing people where to go. Think of it as like an index or a directory, a table of contents on a book. That's the navigation. So you're basically creating one area where you can find the main content and then have sub-content if you need to, okay? So what we would do is, if we were creating a nav, we would need links. So what we're going to do is we're going to introduce a couple new tags. So let's comment this out. This is the image tag. Okay, and then we're going to type in left bracket img, and we're going to type nothing. We're going to hit enter, and we're going to type in a source. So we're going to do a website that I use all the time, and this is called http:// placeholder.com /backslash. Let's do 300 by 300. Okay, let's Control S. Let's render this. So right click, open in browser, and it didn't work. Okay, so let's open another tab here real quick. Let's go to placeholder.com, and let me grab this code right here. I must have put in the wrong information here, so let me paste that in here. Okay, and I'm going to right click again and open in the browser, and now we should have an image. So it's 350 by 150. So basically what I did is I went to placeholder.com, and placeholder.com has images that don't have any content in it. They just have numbers, and it's a gray image, so it's a filler. And basically what you can do is if you type in placeholder and then you do a backslash and you type in the resolution you want, 350 by 150, which is a width times a height. If you type that in, it'll show that right here. Okay, so I'm going to close this out. I'm going to close that out, and I'm going to show you one more tag. Okay, so we're going to go back to our code, and we're going to type in, we're going to comment this out first. This is the anchor tag. Okay, comment that out. And let's do, let me go back, and I'm going to type in left bracket, and then I'm going to type in A, and if you hit enter, it will autofill. We're going to hold shift and type in the number 3 button, or the hashtag, and in between the A tag, we're going to type, this is my first link. Control S to save, right click to render, open in the browser. This is my first link. Beautiful. Now, the other thing we can do with this is if we were to copy this. So let's copy this. Okay. Return twice. Paste with Control V. Make sure you save. Right click, open in the browser, and now we have 2 links. This is my first link, this is my first link. So you can see that it creates the navigation horizontally right next to each other. So in the next video, I'm going to show you some more HTML tags. All right, I'll see you there. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to continue learning HTML tags. So what I want to teach you next is the paragraph tag. So we're going to click on nav, and we're going to double return twice, not double return, but just return twice. We're going to comment this out first. This is the paragraph tag. Close that. Then type in left bracket, P, right bracket. Okay, left bracket, backslash, it'll autofill. Okay, then we're going to go in the middle. We're going to return twice. Actually, one more. And then go to line 52 if you're on the same line I am. And we're going to type in, this is the paragraph inside the paragraph tag. Beautiful. Okay, so now what I'm going to show you is we're going to learn a couple more elements here. So the next tag we're going to learn, and we're going to comment this out. This is the section tag. Now, what is the section tag? Basically what that is, it's a container. So it will hold your content. So if we type in section, and we hit enter because it's autofilling, and we return 3 times, and we go to the middle, and I type in paragraph, this is a test. Okay? And we hit Control S to save. Now let's right click and render this. And you can see that this is a test is similar to the paragraph above it. But this is in a container. So anything that you added in here, if we were to move this section down, the paragraph would go with it because it's inside a container. So think of a section as a container. Okay, so let's close down our browser for a second. Now I'm going to show you another version of a container. But this container requires a width and a height. this is a div. It's called a div. So we're going to comment this out first. This is the div tag. So the div, we're going to do, okay, let's close that. Okay. Now we'll do the same thing. We're going to do a paragraph. This is another test. Control S to save, right click, open in the browser, and it's the same thing. It's a container, and it's basically where it needs to be. Now, I'll show you another trick. If I were to do the BR tag, which is a break, okay, and we're going to comment this out so we know what it is. This is the break tag. I'm going to show you what it does. We'll save that, right click, open in the browser, and now you see there's a space. So basically the break is like a return on Word or a return on a web page. It'll push it down one row and say, oh, I don't want it to be right next to it, I want to be down here. Now if we were to go back in there and copy this, okay, and then paste it here, and let's space that so we can read it. And right click and open in the browser. Now we're down here instead of where we were just a second ago. Now I'll delete that. Okay. And you'll see it's going to move up a little bit. There you go. So it moved up. Alright, so that's the break tag. We've learned the section tag, the break tag, the paragraph tag, and the div tag. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to learn the, let's see here, which one did I want to show you? The UL tag. Okay, so the UL, we're going to comment this out first. This is an unordered list. Okay, and then close that, and we'll do a UL. So UL is an unordered list. Okay? So return 3 times, go to line 76 if you're on the same line I am, and then we're going to do an LI tag, which is the list. So we're going to type this is item 1. Hit end, return, and then do another LI. This is item 2. And we're going to comment that out because we want to comment out everything. This is the list tag. Okay? And we'll do it here too. This is the list tag. Okay, there we go. And then we'll control S to save. We'll right click. And now you'll see that it's got bullet points here. Okay? Now there's another list style that we can use. Instead of an unordered list, we can use the OL tag, which is the ordered list. So we're going to comment this out. This is the ordered list. Now instead of bullets, it's going to give you numbers. So we're going to do left bracket, OL, enter to fill it, return 3 times, go to line 87, comment out the list tag. This is the list tag. Okay, and then we're going to do LI. This is item 1. Now, instead of typing this out 30 times, click up here, click and drag down to the end of the list tag, and Control C to copy, return twice, Control V to paste. Okay, and then Control S to save, and then we're going to move, click on the left, not click, but hit the left arrow key till we get to 1, hit delete, and then type in 2, Control S to save. Now I'm going to right click, and I'm going to open in the browser. So now we have this is item 1, this is item 2, and you can see it's numbered. Okay, so that's really the main tags. The tags that we've gone through here are the main tags of HTML. And in the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a variety of resources that you can use if you have questions or if you get stuck. There's a lot of stuff out there. I'm available as well for you to text me, email me. I'm available as well. You can email me. You can reach out to me on Udemy. and I'm more than happy to assist you. So in the next video, I'm going to show you a couple resources that you can use to continue learning HTML. All right, I'll see you there. All right, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you a variety of resources that you can look at in case you get stuck on HTML or you want to go further than what I've shown you. Remember, this is just the basics of HTML, and I'm going to teach you more tags as we go along, but this was just an introduction to HTML. So with that in mind, let's go to, open up another tab here. Let's go to google.com and let's type in Mozilla Developer Network. Okay, so I'm going to hit enter, and we're going to click on MDM Web Docs. Now instead of doing that, let's just click on HTML. And this will give you a in-depth articles about what HTML is, tutorials, references, all that. And this is a very important tool to use because honestly, I don't even know all the tags. Okay, I use probably, I would say 30 tags at most on a daily basis. So I've taught you probably 15 or 20, and those tags are valuable for what we're going to be doing here. But like I say, you're going to learn tags that you have never used before in the future. So with that in mind, I'm just going to show you this real quick. So if you do like introduction to HTML, it'll give you an overview. It has guides. It has what's in the head, metadata in HTML, HTML text fundamentals, creating hyperlinks, advanced text formatting, document and website structure, debugging HTML. And then it will give you other information here. So this is a very valuable tool, and this will get you even further along in your studies in HTML and CSS and in JavaScript and any other languages that you want to learn. They have JavaScript here, they have CSS, they have HTML, and these are very good tutorials and information to follow up with. So that's a very important tool. And so with that in mind, what I'm going to do in the next video is we're going to start learning CSS. So remember, this is a very important information here, MDM Web Docs. It will help you with a lot of different things that will arise. And one thing with programming is you have to learn how to troubleshoot and research solutions. So this is a great tool to find the solutions for any issues that may come up, you know. And remember, programming is fun. It's not something that is scary or anything like that. The key is to have fun with it and to enjoy it and to learn to love it. And once you learn to love it, then this will be second nature to you. I can speak from experience on that. So, and I love coding. I really do. It's a lot of fun. So with that in mind, I'm going to see you in the next video, and we're going to start learning CSS.